to Shifty Crab News Break. I am one of your hosts, Terry Jeffs, and I am joined today by the reigner of the campaigners. It's Adam Very.
I like that. Thank you for that introduction, Terry. I am pleased to be here.
Good. We are going to talk some news today because we've got plenty to talk about. We just had the BAFTAs, video game BAFTAs, just gone live, just finished. So we're going to talk about that, plus a bunch of other stuff, lots of Xbox news, Nintendo news, and lots of PlayStation news. Actually, it's quite balanced out because this is Shifty Crab News Break, where we bring you just a pinch of the week's best gaming news and discuss all the games we can't wait to get our claws on. Before I get to the stories, a bit of housekeeping. Shifty Crab Podcast episode 9 is live and will be live. Well, every episode is live every Wednesday. This week's episode is Raw Potatoes and Marvel Daddies, and it gets a bit crazy, but it was really good fun to record. I really enjoyed this one.
This one took a turn.
It was. Yeah, I mean, we didn't really leave many stones unturned for what we talked about. It just kind of went all over the place, but it was bloody good fun doing it. Also, do check out our Sunday Fun Day challenge, which was the Marvel edition of the MCU. Vince put together a nice little list of questions for myself and Adam, and it's good fun. Go check that out every Sunday. We're gonna have a new one going up there. But first, news time. We've got 10 news items.
A lot
today. A lot to go through. Starting with news story number 1. Hades wins best game at the 2021 BAFTA Games Awards. So BAFTA's literally just finished before we went live, and going over to BAFTA.org to check out all the winners basically. So let's go over there, because I haven't. Did you watch any of this, Adam?
I did.
At all?
I watched. I missed the very beginning, but I watched probably half of it to 3/4.
Yep.
Yeah, it was okay. There's a lot of filler.
Yeah, I do enjoy the BAFTAs. I like the video game BAFTAs. It's my favorite of all the video game awards. I think it's just, I don't know, something about a BAFTA that's quite.
It just seems a bit more legit.
Exactly. Yeah, I think because the film BAFTAs are so highly regarded. I don't know. Yeah. I just like it, and as much as I enjoy the video game awards, DICE awards, and all that kind of stuff, they're great for the trailers and stuff. As the actual awards go, these are the ones I like to watch. But I will be watching this one in its entirety. But let's just give a rundown basically of the winners. So let's go through them. So animation, the winner was The Last of Us Part 2. Artistic achievement, winner was Hades. Audio achievement, Ghost of Tsushima. Best game, now this was the big one. Best game of the year 2020. But they kind of says 2021 or?
Yeah, it's 2021.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. And this was Hades. That was the big steal of this one, because I think a lot of us, I guess, were expecting The Last of Us Part 2 with that one.
Yeah.
But, best British game was Sackboy: A Big Adventure. Debut game was Carrion. Evolving game, Sea of Thieves. Family game, Sackboy: A Big Adventure. Game Beyond Entertainment, Animal Crossing: New Horizons. Game design was Hades. Multiplayer was Animal Crossing: New Horizons. Music was Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales. Narrative was Hades again. Original property, Kentucky Route Zero TV edition. Performer in a leading role was Laura Bailey for as Abby in The Last of Us Part 2. Performer in a supporting role was Logan Cunningham as Hades, Achilles, Poseidon, Asterius, Charon, and the storyteller in Hades. Absolute legend. He is, like, he just so good. Technical achievement was Dreams, and the EE Game of the Year voted by the public was The Last of Us Part 2. So Hades absolutely swept up
Yeah, they did really well. I think we've seen it through all of the game awards, really, from the last year. It's been The Last of Us Part 2 kind of versus Hades have been kind of sweeping it up between them.
Mm.
Obviously, with some notable exceptions. Um, but yeah, no surprises here. I would have thought, apart from The Last of Us Part 2, I really did think that would win the BAFTA because it's the sort of game that the BAFTAs really like.
Yeah.
And so but Hades does, like, from all intents and purposes, really deserves to win it as well. So it's not a shock that it won. But
Yeah, I think if you look at each of the categories that either of those are in, you're gonna expect one of the two to win it. Yeah, just looking into like animation, obviously that Last of Us Part Two, artistic achievement, like there's of all the games I think of from the last year, they are two of the most critically acclaimed, aren't they? They're
yeah,
the two games that everyone was talking about. Like, the one that quite surprised me. I know Sackboy Big Adventure won Best British Game. That makes sense for what it was up against, um, but Sackboy beat um, where is it? I'm trying to find it.
is it Family you're on about, the one that won the
Family, yeah,
family?
beat well, first of all, I would have put. I mean, I haven't played Sackboy, but I would have put Astro's Playroom
Yeah,
above Sackboy from what I've seen as well. Like that was a bit of a surprise. And even like Fall Guys, Fall Guys was huge.
yeah, definitely, definitely. I think Sackboy is loved by the BAFTAs though, for
Mm.
two reasons. I'd say, a bit controversially, the BAFTAs for a long time notoriously narrated and hosted by Stephen Fry, who is the voice of the narrator in Sackboy.
Yeah.
So there is a link.
Yeah.
Not saying it's corrupt, but there's a link. And two, it's British. The BAFTAs will,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah,
they'll if they can, they'll give it to a British game somewhere. The
yeah.
one that surprised me the most is multiplayer. Now, I know Animal Crossing was a big game, but I thought Fall Guys would win that hands down.
Really?
I
I
did,
guess,
yeah.
yeah.
I
I
just
guess for
thought,
Animal Crossing, I don't really think of it as like a. I know it has its multiplayer elements, but that's not its strongest point.
yeah, no, you can play it on your own. I think it game beyond entertainment. I think it makes sense. It helped a lot of people during lockdown.
Mm.
Music from Miles Morales, yeah, the music in that game is incredible. Done really well. Another one that surprised me a bit, but I know I'm a bit biased against the game, is Ghost of Tsushima winning audio achievement, purely because in The Last of Us Part 2, I think they did such a good job of the audio,
Yeah.
the suspense when you could hear the clickers, the music, the just the quality of the sound. Um, that I thought that might have won, but I know the sound played a very heavy part in Ghost of Tsushima. So
Mm. I'm glad to see Dreams win technical
yeah,
achievement. I think that's very well deserved, especially up against obviously The Last of Us 2. That's a tough. That is a
yeah,
tough category. That one. I mean, you
it deserved it as well.
Microsoft Flight Simulator that could have easily got it. Like there's
Yeah, I'm surprised that didn't win anything. Like,
yeah. I'm surprised
it
that Half-Life Alex didn't get anything. But
was
again, it's just
nominated, wasn't it? But
it was
no, yeah,
nominated.
but
Yeah, it was nominated for game design.
it was nominated for Game of the Year as well, I think, wasn't it?
I think it was, yeah, yeah. But yeah, I mean, some of these categories were really, really tough. Like as you say, there was only a couple of things where I was like, oh, like really, you went there. Like it's hard to really take any of these the wins away. They'll be disappointed that Final Fantasy VII remake didn't get best animation, but
Well,
I can see how the last ones do definitely got that.
yeah.
But no,
I,
it's sorry, go.
no, I was just gonna say, and a big shout out as well. I think she's probably one of the best voice actors in the world with Laura Bailey.
Mm,
Um, so for her to win, and obviously she was going up against Ashley Johnson as Ellie, and now
yeah,
they're best friends in real life. Anyway, they're both part of Critical Role. So then it was quite funny when obviously the BAFTAs are live. They're on that, but they record Critical Role tonight as well. So they were
right.
both at home doing that, and then they've got to work together straight away afterwards. So yeah, it was nice to see them both recognized by, and for Laura Bailey to win a BAFTA. I know it's been a dream of hers anyway. So it's nice to see. It's a feel good moment for the show as well, if you're a
Yeah.
fan. So.
Yeah. I mean, when are we going to the BAFTAs, Adam? When are we doing it?
Well, funnily enough, apparently they didn't want us to host this year. I think there was a miscommunication, but
Yeah.
I did say to them in an email that we'd only do it if it was on stage in front of people. So maybe next year,
Of course.
if the world gets its act together.
We got to hire those taxis. Get down there. Get down there. Let's get rid of this
It's already in
COVID.
the cupboard ready.
On to story number 2. Sony and PlayStation Productions developing Ghost of Tsushima movie with John Wick's Chad Stahelski directing. This is over at Deadline by Justin Kroll. Exclusive. Sony Pictures and PlayStation Productions are developing a film adaptation of the hugely successful action-adventure game Ghosts of Tsushima, with Chad Stahelski attached to direct. The game recently crossed a massive milestone of selling over 6.5 million copies since its July 2020 debut. The game is developed by Sucker Punch Productions and published by Sony Interactive Entertainment and centers around samurai warrior Jin Sakai, the last surviving member of his clan, who must set aside the traditions that have shaped him as a warrior to wage an unconventional war for the freedom of Tsushima. Stahelski, Alex Young, and Jason Spitz are producing through their company 8711 Entertainment. Asad Quizelbash and Carter Swan will produce on behalf of PlayStation Productions. Sucker Punch Productions will serve as executive producers. Peter Kang is overseeing the project on behalf of the studio. Quote, we're excited to be partnering with Chad and 8711 Entertainment to bring their vision of Jin's story to the big screen. We love working with creative partners like Chad, who have a passion for our games, ensuring we can create rich adaptations that will excite our fans and new audiences, said Asad Quizelbash, head of PlayStation Productions. Ghost of Tsushima is PlayStation 4's fastest selling first-party original IP debut, selling more than 2.4 million units worldwide in its first 3 days. The game was one of the top nominees for the Game Awards 2020, with several nominations. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's going off base anyway. But anyway, what are your thoughts, Adam? What are your thoughts? Because this is fresh, hot off the press news from today. Yeah. Everyone was kind of talking about it. I know you're not too hot on Ghost of Tsushima. I haven't played it. So
I'm going to put my unbiased hat on here.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think as a game, it wasn't for me. Okay. So I've had a little bit of time to think about this while we were getting set up, and I don't want this yet because I think PlayStation has started to make too many films and TV shows of their IPs all at one time. And I don't think Ghost of Tsushima has been one game. I just maybe wait till they've done the second, see how that's received. Like, is it just going to be the story from Ghost of Tsushima? Is it going to be something different? I think PlayStation has a lot of other IPs that if they were going to make something, for me, would make more interesting viewing than this. And right now, anyway. But it does excite me whenever Chad Stahelski is involved in something because he did such an amazing job in the John Wick series. So the action's going to be good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not excited. It just does. I just don't think it needs to be done yet. Focus on The Last of Us. I know what's the other one that they've got that they're doing?
Last of Us. Was there another TV series?
There's another TV series of film, isn't there?
Uncharted movie.
Uncharted movie. That's the other one. There's the Uncharted movie, and I think I would much rather. I know it's still a new IP in itself. I'd much rather see something from Horizon in some form. I think that would be a more interesting story. God of War, I think, is a dangerous one to touch but would be an incredible visual.
God of War seems like a pretty obvious one that they
Yeah.
should do. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
like very leans itself cinematically, and obviously that would need quite a big budget to do something like that. But yeah. I don't know. I disagree in the sense that I think it's too. No, I don't think it's too soon. I think this is what we don't normally see from PlayStation, where they're actually responding quickly to the positive. I mean, it's overall positive response to Ghost of Tsushima, and it sold very well, as I mentioned. And I think they're kind of looking to, for the first time, strike while the iron's hot. Like, okay, people are interested in this now. Let's get on this rather than waiting, I don't know, like 5-10 years down the line and then deciding to adapt it. But the fact, the thing I'd say about it, and I haven't played it, but obviously I know it's very heavily influenced by Japanese cinema, and it's the whole thing is like a reference to Japanese cinema, and it seems weird to just bring it back full loop again to then make a series, or like make a film on
a Western film.
Exactly, and it's like the game's based on films, and now we're going to get based on the game. So it's weird to see this kind of stuff happening. But yeah, I get it. I get why Tsushima themselves. I mean, they haven't mentioned anything about the filming, but I imagine that they'd probably be happy for them to do filming on location, because I know that they've very much enjoyed all the publicity about the island and all that kind of stuff from the game. So I don't know. It's a weird one. I'm quite surprised by it, but at the same time, I'm thinking, if you're selling that many copies on a new IP, that's the thing. A new IP, completely like not established previous to this, then I can see why they would want to do this.
The last thing I've got, last 2 points on this really quickly, is one. The risk that I think there is if they don't do this film correctly, is it going to damage the IP of another game? It depends which order that comes out in. I don't know. We don't know how far along. You presume a film would come out before the next game. You'd presume, because the time constraints, it's easier to make a film than it is a game. And the second one is I'd say that if people were going to say what was the bad point of Ghost of Tsushima, even if they like the game, the story is one of the worst parts, because it is a paint by numbers story. So the things that made that game good were the combat, was the dialogue. That some people really love the voice acting in it, and if the voice acting is good, and the combat is fulfilling and rewarding, but the story was the weakest part.
It makes sense for for them to attach the John Wick directive to this, because no one's really remembering John Wick for its story. It's like
an emotional story there, Terry. Like, that should win an Oscar, the John Wick story. There was a puppy that fueled all of this vengeance, but no, it's more style over substance. True. They're very, very good looking films, choreographed very well. So I can imagine why we're going to be getting more of that, which that's fine, but we're not going to get. I'm not sure we're not going to get any Oscar worthy. But who knows? We may be surprised. Long as they do the original source material, as in Japanese cinema justice, and they don't become a caricature of that, then I think we'll be okay. But there's a risk, they need to do it. They need to be respectful and justice of where this game got its ideas and style from. But anyway, we'll see what it is.
We could be surprised. Hey, we got Todd Phillips went from Road Trip to the Joker. This guy could just pull out some trump card, and
could be in some humble pie in a year or so's time.
Absolutely, but no, looking forward to it either way. Story number 3: PlayStation, PS3, Vita, and PSP stores to be permanently closed in a few months. This story is over at The Gamer by Kirk McKeand. The PS3, PS Vita, and PlayStation Portable stores aren't long for this world, according to a source familiar with the situation. verified by the gamer. The stores are due to be closed down from July. The announcement is planned for the end of this month. PSP's and PS3 stores are to be closed on July 2nd, while the PS Vita store will stay open until August 27th. After those dates, you will no longer be able to purchase digital copies of games or DLC for any of the Sony consoles mentioned above. The PS3 released in November 2006 and sold over a total of 87 million units during its lifetime. The console officially ended production 4 years ago after 11 successful years on the market and 3 model redesigns. The PSP enjoyed similar success, selling around 81 million units since its release in March 2005. Notoriously, the PS Vita was a bit of a flop. Sony's second handheld released in December 2011 and sold between 10 to 15 million units across its lifetime, despite being an excellent little machine. The handheld recently saw some resurgence in popularity thanks to how easy it is to turn it into a portable emulator. Anyway, that is... we don't have much more information than that, and this news came out I think it was the end of last week, and we haven't had any clarification in this. We haven't had any response from Sony. What are your thoughts, Adam?
It is a sad day, but an inevitable day. I said this to you on Twitter. Like,
this
bound to
me.
happen.
Really rocked.
Yeah, you could. There's no support for any of these, really. Anyway, they say they're shutting the stores, but they have proven quite a few times that they don't really care about the back catalogue that much. So the Vita has been dying a death since it launched, which is a sad thing because it isn't. When I have played it, I never had one. It was an amazing piece of tech. It was incredible. I just couldn't afford one at the time. But the PS3, we're now 2 consoles later. So there are some PS3 games, obviously, on PlayStation Now and stuff like that. There are some. Maybe that's going to be the way forward if they put more of them on there and incorporate it into the PlayStation 5. That might be what they do, but yeah. I don't have too much to say. It's sad. It's always sad to see the end of historic moments in gaming, and a big part of our growing up, the PlayStation 3, the Vita, the PSP. But it's going to happen to everything at some point. So,
yeah, as you said, it's inevitable, and I know this. But at the same time, it really, and this is like a bit of a leak, I guess, but it kind of shocked me a little bit, and I didn't expect to have this. If these dates are correct, and I imagine they will be, because it seemed to be too precise. I thought we'd get more notice than this. I thought it would be like, oh, it's official. These stores are going to close like a year from now. So just to give you a heads up, all the servers will be going down, kind of thing. Whereas we could be getting a matter of like weeks, months, and it's like. And then it puts you into panic mode, because for someone like myself, Vita, for instance, Vita is one of my all-time favorite consoles. I still play it on a daily basis. I've been going onto the store like at least like once a week. And I always like pick up over Christmas time. I like pick up stuff in the sale and things like that, and especially games on the PS4, which are like crossplay. Because I always look for those, because grab that and get the Vita version, because Vita is still my go-to machine for like indie games, because I don't have a Switch. So that's where the best place to play indie games. I absolutely love it. And there's a huge backlog of games that I've got to play on there that I've got through buying or getting on PlayStation Plus. Now, the thing that I keep hearing people reassure me, but this is, again, I'm waiting for Sony to clarify this. Like, all I want to know is, the main thing is the games that I've purchased or the games that I have got through PlayStation Plus, that I'm still going to be able to download those, because that's the main thing I'm worried about, because that's the scary stuff about digital. But the store thing, I get it, and I can understand that, although it is, again, it's a bit upsetting, because when this is official, I'm going to have to get on there and just download anything that I haven't bought that I know I want to buy. even though the prices on there are a bit ridiculous when they've not got sales on. But yeah, it's just and again, like cartridges. I mean, I own one Vita cartridge, which I think is Final Fantasy X, and I just bought all games digital on there. It just made sense. And apparently, like Vita cartridges had already gone through the roof. Now they're just going to like go way up in price to try and grab hold of any of these things. And I just don't. I don't like any of this, Adam. I don't like it.
We know, like, your name is the Retro King. You know, you don't like modern things. We get that. And you don't like change. So you just like things as they are. You want to be able to log onto your Vita shop, buy what you need.
Yeah.
And then I totally get that. I totally understand it. And I just think this must have come to a point for Sony where it's like it's not financially viable for us to keep these open and to keep providing a service for these. We need to move things into what now the back catalog is PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
So it just sucks. I just wish there was a way that they would keep, I think especially the Vita, because it's such a special piece of like gaming history.
Yeah.
It paved the way for things. You know, I think it was a great step forward in handheld gaming. I just wish they'd incorporate a little bit with the PlayStation 5, but obviously that's not going to happen. Like, they're not going to incorporate the store on the PlayStation 5 with the Vita, and it's just...
The upsetting thing for me, I find, is, and I know we've talked about this over and over and again, is that Sony and PlayStation believe in console generations and just kind of completely renewing, but at the same time, as we spoke about before, there's such a legacy, such a history of PlayStation, so many games, and they just won't support it. And when you look at what Xbox are doing, it's just really sad. Like, this shouldn't be a thing. I get it. I absolutely get it that they have to close these servers and cost money and stuff like that, but there's no reason why they couldn't put the effort into putting some of these games onto the PS4 store, to the PlayStation 5 store. I get it with the PS3, and there's a lot of problems there with the cell processor, and you can't emulate that. But it's just like there's so many of these games that were digital only, and they're just going to die now. Like, if you didn't buy them before, that's it. They're gone forever. And I don't think that always needs to be the case. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, sorry,
it's difficult. No, I'm agreeing with you, and I think you see quite a lot that Xbox have become so good at looking backwards, and PlayStation are probably better at looking forwards. Like, and it's just sometimes you want the best of both worlds. Like, and I think what the PlayStation 5's done is innovative, but they're kind of, you look at Astrobot's Playroom.
Yeah.
The best thing about that game isn't the gameplay, it's the nostalgia.
Exactly, yeah.
And they did that perfectly. And then within 6 months, they said, hey, half of that nostalgia, say bye, because you ain't going to be able to download any of that. Or look at that, half the games that you can see them making the scenes of, or the little Astrobots, not going to be able to play that.
No, exactly. Everyone's going to be like, what's this game? Oh, it used to be on the store. It's gone now, but you might find a copy of it somewhere on eBay.
If you're going to get rid of it, if you're going to get rid of the Vita store, just let people download anything they want.
Yeah, exactly.
Just let them download it. Like, what's the point? Say, right, the store's open, download what you want until your memory's full.
Oh my God, do you know what? That would be like heaven, like, to me. If they just said, look, you won't be able to buy anything after this point, but for the last week, or whatever, or the last month, everything's free. Just download it, because like you said, why the hell not? What have they got to lose?
Yeah, they're not going to make any money off it or lose any money, because it's all going to be
gone. No one can buy it again anyway. So yeah, I don't know.
They might do that. They've never done it before, but
never going to happen.
They might.
Never going to happen.
Yeah, we'll see.
But speaking of companies killing their digital content, this is it. Nintendo kills Super Mario 3D All-Stars in 1 week.
This is impressive.
This is over at Eurogamer, and this is from Tom Phillips. The time has come. If you've been holding off on a purchase of Super Mario 3D All-Stars for Nintendo Switch, you have just 1 week left to play into Nintendo's artificially induced FOMO and purchase a copy or miss out forever. Nintendo will delete its compilation of Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy from the Switch eShop servers on the 31st of March. Physical copies will become harder to find. Meanwhile, with no more new shipments apparently due. We've asked Nintendo exactly when the game will be removed from the Nintendo Switch eShop in case you do decide on a last-minute purchase. Meanwhile, boxed copies of the game are currently still readily available. He's hoping Nintendo doesn't banish them all overnight and bury them in the desert on 1st of April. Oh yeah, Super Mario 3D All-Stars was announced and released in September last year for the Super Mario Bros. 35th anniversary, and Nintendo said at the time the compilation would only be released in limited supply and sold for just 6 months. Super Mario All-Stars isn't the only Mario game getting binned off next week. Super Mario 35, which Nintendo Online subscribers can play at no extra cost, will also be switched off forever. With Mario's 35th finally over next week, Nintendo will hopefully be free to mention a certain other 35th anniversary, which by now has already come and gone. That's Mario, right? Zelda, sorry. But anyway,
Zelda.
This, similar kind of thing.
I think this is worse.
This is bad. I don't like anything about this.
No, this is a money grab.
It's a complete money grab. It's not right. It's not like I mentioned to you the other day, like, I want to get a Switch and I'm probably going to hold out now for this new model that's coming out and I'll get that. And this game would be one of the first games I'd buy when I get that console. Yeah. And now you're telling me what? I'm never going to be able to get it. I can't ever play Mario Galaxy, which I've not played before because I never had a Wii and I've always been wanting to play it. I thought, play it in the best way possible. I'm never going to be able to play Mario Galaxy because I didn't buy it
for the next 5 years until they release one for 40. No?
Yeah, right. This is the worst thing ever. Yeah. I don't know why. I mean, I do know why they're doing it. Like you said, money just to get everyone to purchase it. But really, like, does Nintendo really need to do that? Their games. The one thing about Nintendo is their main AAA games, their exclusive games, they consistently sell throughout the whole console's life cycle.
They never drop in price as well.
They never drop in price. They never drop in popularity. They will just consistently sell. So why do they feel the need to for them to do this, like, and just cut off sales? Like, surely in the long run, just let it just keep selling.
Yeah, and do you know what? I could understand if they did for the anniversary a special edition hard copy. And they only sold that for 6 months, just like PlayStation did when they did you could get the PlayStation's the PS1 skinned PlayStation 4. Was that the special edition for the?
Oh yeah, that was like a super collector edition. Yeah, the actual console. I've got my PS4 controller.
Is the PS1 controller?
Is the controller you could buy, but that console, that I really want that, but that was like run of like 2,000 or something like that.
Yeah. So and you could understand a hard copy version to add and say, we're only selling this for 6 months. If you want the digital, you can have the digital, but the hard copy is 6 months. Nothing wrong with that because you're giving people still the option. But to turn around on a digital IP that you 100% own isn't licensed out to anybody else to say, no, we're only selling this for 6 months and then we'll never sell it again. Buy it now.
Yeah.
So I don't even really want to talk about it. It's
madness.
Disgusting. Yeah, it's
madness.
Disgusting.
But yeah, it infuriates me personally the fact that I am not going to be able to buy this game now when I get my Switch. But it also, I just don't like the whole idea of this, where this is going. I mean, it's pissing me off that these stores are getting closed on PlayStation after over 10, 15 years. Like the fact that this game that willingly through their choice, like it's wrong. I don't like it at all.
It's everything wrong with gaming in that one article.
Yeah, pretty much. A little bit more right with gaming from Nintendo. This is Pokemon Go developer Niantic making Pikmin AR game with Nintendo. This is over at Polygon and it's by Michael McWhirtle. Pokemon Go and Ingress developer Niantic is working with Nintendo on new apps that will combine real-world augmented reality, AR technology, and Nintendo's stable of characters. The first game coming as part of that partnership is an AR game based on Pikmin. Nintendo said in a news release Monday that Niantic's take on Pikmin will feature gameplay that will encourage walking and making the activity more enjoyable. The app will launch in 2021. It's being developed by Niantic's Tokyo studio, which was established in 2018. Quote, it's going to be very different from Pokemon Go, Tetsuo Nomura, head of Niantic Tokyo studio, said on Twitter. As we continue to expand our game portfolio, it was a natural step to team up with Nintendo. John Hank, CEO of Niantic, said in a news release, we're looking forward to shaping the future of AR together, bringing Nintendo's beloved game characters to life for mobile game players around the world. Niantic's AR technology has made it possible for us to experience the world as if Pikmin are secretly living all around us, adding Nintendo's Shigeru Miyamoto. Based on the theme of making walking fun, our mission is to provide people a new experience that's different from traditional games. We hope that Pikmin and this app will become a partner in your life. So what's your thoughts on this, Adam? Did you play Pokemon Go at all,
No.
or Ingress or anything like that?
No, I didn't. I like the idea of anything that is going to help people be active. So that's all cool. I have a really cool app for my phone. I haven't used it in a while, which was Zombie Run.
Yeah, I know this
So
one.
yeah, so obviously the zombies were chasing you as you're running. You had the story going on in your head. That was really cool. So I like this. I was never not a Pikmin fan, so none of this really screams anything exciting for me. If it gets people being active, then it's a win, isn't it? So
yeah, I played when Pokemon Go first came out. I played quite a bit of it, but then I just kind of dropped off it. But still have it on my phone because I play it every now and again with the kids, and it is great. It's just cool to go out and just like on your walk, have a bit of fun, like catching Pokemon and stuff. But yeah, I never really played any of the Pikmin games, but as soon as I saw this, I was like, oh, perfect. What a perfect fit. Like, you can just imagine it walking along with just sense, like the bunch of the whole line of Pikmin following you around in the grass and stuff. It'll look great. But Niantic, I mean, I messed around with Ingress as well when that was out before Pokemon Go. And I do like what they do. They're very clever with what they do in the mobile market. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to keeping my eye on this because I know the kids will like this as well. So anything like that where you get you out of the house and do.
I'd rather they did a Lemmings version.
Yeah, I mean Pikmin's very Lemons-like, isn't it? It's
I know, but I want to see what happens. I like the Lemmings.
Lemons was awesome.
Yeah,
Lemons was great.
On
DMA design classic.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Moving on to another mobile game. Rocket League is getting an iOS and Android spin-off game, Sideswipe. This is over at GameSpot by Gabe Gerwin. Rocket League is finally coming to iOS and Android, but this isn't a port of the original game. Rocket League Sideswipe was made from the ground up for mobile, offering faster matches designed for touchscreen controls. And just like its big sibling, the new game from Psyonix will be completely free. It will even have something to keep the competitive players engaged. Launching this year, Rocket League Sideswipe moves the perspective to the side, hence the name, in order to make it more intuitive on a smaller touch-based screen. The matches last 2 minutes and can be played in either one-on-one or with two teammates on each side. It should be a little bit easier for newcomers to pick up and play, though long-time Rocket League players will also see how it translates the gameplay to a different perspective. They'll also have access to competitive ranks to really show off their skills. Just like in Rocket League, you'll be able to customize your vehicles in Rocket League Sideswipe. There are also a number of different arena types, including soccer and basketball, as well as one that forces you to drive up a vertical plane in order to reach the goal. Prior to its launch later this year, Rocket League Sideswipe is holding a regional limited alpha test for Android users in Australia and New Zealand. That starts today in both countries, and any information on future pre-release tests will be available on the official Rocket League website. Despite Rocket League Sideswipe's planned release on iOS this year, one other game from parent company Epic Games still isn't back on the platform, Fortnite. A trial is set to begin in May, and the fate of the game on the platform could hang in the balance. What do you think on this, Adam? And did you play much Rocket League at all?
I dabbled in it. I just wasn't great at it. So obviously the game was broken and it's terrible. No, it's a great idea for a game, and I just got my ass kicked a lot. And I think it'll work on iOS. Makes sense. Um, I'm sure it'll be fun to play. I'll give it a go, no doubt. Play a few games, lose them all, delete the app.
Yeah. I really like the look at this actually, because I'm glad that they haven't just gone to just trying to chuck the game as it is on mobile and it doesn't work.
Wouldn't work.
They've taken the spirit of what Rocket League is. They've somehow tried to make it even more approachable and adapt it to the phone. And I love the look of it. I love the side-on view. It actually reminds me of the football bit in Rayman Legends.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, now you said it. Yeah,
that kind of thing. And then obviously chucking in the basketball mode and stuff like that. But and
it's going to drain your battery.
Free. Yeah, they're making it free, 2-minute games. Like, this seems like perfect. Just kind of go to pick up and play. I'm going to be jumping on this when it comes out for sure. Because I did.
But when battery, though.
Yeah, yeah. But I didn't. I'm not great at Rocket League, but I did play it quite a bit when it first came out. And I've played a little bit since. But it's a great game. Like, good for science.
Yeah, I just wish Rocket League wasn't couch multiplayer, though, was it? It was only online multiplayer, I believe.
Yeah.
I don't think it was couch.
Was it not?
I don't think so.
I think it
was. Maybe I'm wrong.
I think I remember it being split screen. I think I'm sure.
I just can't remember it ever being in split screen. But you could actually. Yeah. You might be right. Yeah.
Because I do remember actually playing with my friend like on.
Oh no, I'm getting confused. My friend just didn't want to play it. That was the story. That's why I didn't play multiplayer.
Story number 7. Microsoft is reportedly in talks to purchase Discord for over $10 billion. This is over at IGN and stories by Adam Bankhurst. Sorry. Microsoft is allegedly in talks to purchase Discord, the gaming-focused chat software, for over $10 billion US. As reported by Bloomberg, these discussions appear to be early as there is no imminent deal on the horizon. Furthermore, one source said that, despite these talks, Discord may be more likely to go public than sell itself. While Microsoft is one of the potential suitors, Discord has also been in discussions with Epic Games and Amazon. VentureBeat first reported that Discord, the company with roughly 140 million monthly users that recently raised $100 million at a $7 billion valuation, was exploring a sale worth more than $10 billion. Discord was said to be the one who reached out to Microsoft to gauge interest in a potential sale, and that Xbox head Phil Spencer has been part of these chats. While purely speculation, it's important to consider how beneficial having a service like Discord could be for the future of communication on the Xbox platform. Xbox and Discord have worked together in the past, as Xbox owners have had the ability to link their Discord accounts to see what their friends are doing. This acquisition, if it does happen, would bolster Microsoft's continuing plans to make gaming as easy and accessible for all. Its strategy is focused on offering its games, especially via Xbox Game Pass on consoles, PC and mobile, and having Discord integration could make communicating across all these platforms as a much smoother process. Owning Discord would only strengthen in the value of the Xbox brand, which recently completed a $7.5 billion acquisition of ZeniMax Media, the parent company of developers like Bethesda, Arcane, id Software, and more. Adam, do you think that this is more than a rumor and it will happen? And do you think it's a good move for Microsoft?
I think it will happen. I think it is a good move, and I think it's great for gaming because I don't really use Discord too much in the way that it should be used. But I know so many people rave about it, how easy it is. It's great for party chats and stuff like that. So yeah, that's great. I'm just, Microsoft remind me of myself when I was younger and I'd play The Sims and I'd just get the llama or put the money low cheating. And I'd just take all the money I had and then just buy everything I wanted, build the house of my dreams, build it all, and just have all the money in the world. They just pull. I know they make a lot of money, but they just seem to pull money out of their arse. Like, oh, 10 billion, yeah, here you go, no problem. Like,
Yeah,
I'm now going to value Shifty Crab at 1 billion. If you want Shifty Crab, you can have it for 1 billion. Just
get
please
in
let us
touch.
keep working here.
Yeah, get in touch
But
with Bill.
I know, yeah, Big Phil. Like, if you want to put us, we'll come part of the Xbox family. Two of us predominantly play PlayStation, but
Yeah.
for 1 billion, I'll never play a PlayStation again. I'll tell you, I'll play Xbox exclusively.
Yeah, I think this is if this does happen, yeah, I mean it's a good move. I mean 10 billion, it's we've just seen what they've spent on Bethesda. But yeah, I mean it makes complete sense, and it would only just bolster that whole platform even more. What Xbox are just perfecting, and yeah, I mean, I've never used really Discord that much, but I know so many people use it for games, and it just makes sense to, especially with like they've got games all over the place going on now, like different platforms and services and stuff. Just being able to like you just go onto your system, you just go onto your Discord, and it just works across everything. And yeah, I can see what they're doing there, and how and again how much it just makes PlayStation in these regards just seems so backwards and ancient.
So archaic at this point.
Yeah, just like we're still stuck with like just basic party chats and stuff like that, and it's just it's if Xbox just put as much time and energy as they're doing into these great acquisitions as they would do like making new IPs and things like that, that would then they'd literally just be, there wouldn't be much argument to have against them to say like, why would you not just buy this?
I know exactly. Yeah, if you could take the PlayStation IPs and the PlayStation catalog, but have the Xbox fans
platform,
like play a service, like, and I prefer the PlayStation UI. So yeah, that amalgamation, then you'd have the perfect console, really.
You would indeed. Keeping it to Xbox, moving over to story number 8. Xbox Live officially rebranded to Xbox Network. This is over at Eurogamer, and it's by Matt Wales. We'll go to the original story here, which was on the 22nd. Microsoft is renaming Xbox Live, its underlying online multiplayer and digital media delivery service, to Xbox Network, a move it says will help distinguish it from Xbox Live Gold. The name Xbox Live has been in use since the service's debut alongside the original Xbox in 2002. However, hints of an imminent rebranding, one that Microsoft denied at the time, emerged last August when the name was dropped from its updated services agreement in favor of Xbox Online Service. Now, though, with users noticing the removal of Xbox Live moniker in Microsoft's recent Xbox dashboard beta, the company has made the rebranding to Xbox Network official. Quote, Xbox Network refers to the underlying Xbox Online Service, which was updated in the Microsoft Services Agreement, a Microsoft spokesperson told The Verge in a statement. The update from Xbox Live to Xbox Network is intended to distinguish the underlying service from Xbox Live Gold membership, it continued. Xbox Live Gold made headlines at the start of the year when Microsoft announced a price hike for the subscription service. The move was heavily criticized, coming as it did amid a pandemic and global financial crisis, and the decision was quickly reversed, with Microsoft also announcing it would finally make free-to-play games playable without subscription on Xbox. There's also a further update to this story. In a statement to Eurogamer this morning, Microsoft had explained the recent branding change for its underlying online infrastructure. In short, the new Xbox Network phrasing is more descriptive, the company said, and none of the systems, subscriptions, or anything else you actually use were changing. Xbox Live isn't going away, Microsoft told Eurogamer. We are making ongoing adjustments to create a simpler, more descriptive messaging system for Xbox in different areas. None of these experiences or features will change as part of these updates. So, again, just out with the old in with the new here with Xbox. So, to me, this just made sense.
Yeah, it's just it's the logical thing to do.
it's like Xbox Live is pretty much, that name is iconic with Xbox, but it's such an old, just the idea of what Xbox Live is, this like paid thing where you can play online, like we're used to that now anyway. Like and although the Xbox Network and PlayStation Network, is it still PlayStation?
It's a bit too.
It's a bit, it's a bit, but I don't know. Like, it's going to be weird to see if people actually stop calling it Xbox Live.
Nobody will. Nobody will.
Yeah, but yeah, just strange. Just end of that kind of time. But moving on to story number 9. Sony co-buys fighting game tournament Evo. And this is over at Eurogamer by Wesley Yin Paul. Sony has co-bought the long-running Evo fighting game tournament. Sony joined forces with RTS, a new venture from Endeavor's esport business, to buy the Evolution Championship Series, the world's largest fighting game event. Terms of the deal were not disclosed. Sony said Evo will return this year in online form and feature Street Fighter V, Tekken 7, Mortal Kombat 11, and Guilty Gear Strive. No mention was made of Super Smash Bros., which has appeared at Evo regularly down the years. Evo Business Development Chief Mark Giulio tweeted to say Evo is still open to all platforms, adding Tekken 7 will run on PC and PC crossplay will be enabled for other titles. Evo co-founders Tony and Tom Cannon, continue to be involved as key advisors, Sony said. Evo Online is set to take place 6th to the 8th and 13th to the 15th of August. Entry is free and players from North America, Europe, Asia and Latin America will be able to compete. Online qualifiers will be live streamed. Quote, fighting games have been a vital part of PlayStation's legacy and our community since the very beginning, and we've been thrilled to partner with Evo over the years, said Stephen Roberts, VP Global Competitive Gaming SIE. This joint acquisition with RTS marks a new chapter of collaboration with Evo's co-founders, Tom and Tony Cannon, and their passionate community of fighting game fans. Have you followed much of Evo over the years, Adam?
Not really. Not really. No, it's kind of gone under my radar a little bit. I knew of it, but it's not really something I've spent much attention to.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not big into the fighting game community, but Evo is always something that catches my eye. I do like, I think of all competitive gaming, I think fighting games, as far as spectacle goes, are always up there. Yeah, they're so impressive, and I think mainly they're so easy to watch because it's not confusing to see what's going on. It's a fight. And I've watched a lot of documentaries about Evo and stuff like that. And there's so much passion in that community. I just love everything about it. The players, traveling all around the world, like they just all know each other. This seems like a cool move really for Sony because they have always been involved in it at some point. I do feel like the fighting community generally, from what I've seen, they're mostly PlayStation players, because I feel like those franchises have always been on PlayStation. It's not Japanese franchises and stuff like that, so it makes sense. But this is a cool move. Whether much changes from it, I don't know what they would do with it. It'd be interesting to see if, I know they said Tekken 7 will run on PC and stuff like that, but it'd be interesting to see with PlayStation owning this if Smash Brothers will return to or any other kind of Nintendo franchise will return to that.
I think it's one of them that will know more about it as time goes on, isn't it? They will keep their cards close to their chest for a little while.
Yeah.
Could be a big purchase for them.
Could be. We'll have to wait and see. And last story, Gotham Knights delayed to 2022. This is over at IGN by Matt Tiem Kim. Gotham Knights has been delayed until 2022. Warner Brothers Games Montreal's co-op Batman game was originally meant to be released sometime this year, but that no longer will be the case. According to the statement released on the official Gotham Knights Twitter account, the team says the title will launch worldwide in 2022. Warner Brothers says the delay is so the team can have more time to deliver the best possible experience for players. This is the latest in a series of new game delays announced in 2021. Also, we'll go into that in a second, but Also, I just added this in because this popped up on the news recently before we went live. But Back for Blood has
Yeah, I was
also
going to
been,
mention this. Yeah, this
yeah,
has been.
delayed from June 18th to now October 2021. So yeah, couple of blows there, and I think that we're just going to see more. I don't think there's going to be much coming out this year from the looks of it.
I think the news is more likely to be when something does release.
Yeah,
Like, hey guys, we are releasing. Like when we said that will be breaking news. Until then, every release date you see, take it with a pinch of salt. If it's got a 2021 in the title, there is the. I think this game needed work anyway, and I really want to play this game. Huge
yeah,
Batman fan, and I really like the look of Gotham Knights when they originally showed it off. So I want this game to be good. So if they need to delay it, delay it. Like I don't want anyone to have to crunch. I don't want the games to suffer. There's plenty of things that we can play as the year goes on. Just make these games good. Make the delay worthwhile, and
yeah.
then that's all. That's the important thing, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, I mean, same. I mean, I'm looking forward to this. I'm a huge Batman fan myself.
Mm-hmm.
Love all the Arkham games. Love what they're doing with this, a bit different stuff like that. But I'm the same. Probably I'm a bit more in the camp of like I would happily wait until the game's done because I've just got such a backlog of games, so it doesn't affect me personally. But at the same time, I do feel like this game is this year. Sorry, is going to be terrible for the amount of releases that we get, which makes complete sense. You know, it's to be expected that how COVID is affecting development on everything. But at the same time, are many people like okay, Gotham Knights that is going to be coming out on previous gen technology, but when we're thinking about like games that were to be exclusive to next gen and that are not coming out this year now and being delayed to next year, like does it really matter that much when literally no one can get hold of people can't get hold of a PS5 still and people and a lot of people still trying to get an Xbox Series X, but yeah, it sucks, but like I said, we can wait. We've got other stuff to keep us busy. When it's ready, it's ready. I mean, I'm looking forward to playing Back for Blood as well. But again, just make sure it's done properly and there's no rush. We don't want another Cyberpunk on a issue on our hands. Just
no, exactly. Yeah, anything but that. And anyway, Terry, you've got a big enough back catalogue to work your way through. I'm sure you'll be fine for the next 6 years.
Exactly.
Like you've got enough games, and to be honest, you'll still just be playing Final Fantasy DLC anyway. So what's the problem?
You know what I mean?
Just,
even that, I'm like, if you want more time to work on Endwalkers, that's fine because I've got a lot of content to catch up with. So.
Yeah, exactly. I do actually have kind of breaking news.
Oh, okay.
Like I don't mean to jump on the
no,
news
bring
here.
it.
I know this is your thing. It's kind of breaking news. Kojima Productions next game announcement coming soon.
Oh,
this has just broken 50 minutes ago. I don't know why I'm looking on my phone when I've brought it up on my screen. It is coming quite soon. This is over at Push Square, and it's written by Robert Ramsey 58 minutes ago. Legendary Kojima Productions artist Yoji Shinakawa may have just dropped a hint on when we can expect a new game announcement from the studio. In an interview with YouTube channel Al Hub, as reported by VGC, Shinkawa is asked about the developer's next project. He replies, well, yeah, I am doing something for sure, and I could probably tell you that we can announce it soon. Of course, quite soon could mean anything, but it's commonly known that Kojima Productions has been bolstering its workforce for quite some time following the release of Death Stranding in 2019. Hopefully we hear something more concrete on this in relatively near future. As for what Kojima and the gang's next project could actually be, your guess is as good as ours. Hideo Kojima himself has supposedly been teasing bits and pieces on social media for months, but has always been the case with the Japanese auteur, attempting to predict his next move is not easy. So yeah, it's not an announcement, but the hype train's starting to leave the station and what Kojima could be doing next. So I guess the quick question at the end of this is, if someone had a gun to your head, what is the next announcement?
I mean, this is it, isn't it? I mean, it's got to be a new IP. I can't.
You'd think so.
Yeah, and when it comes to that, I mean, can anyone really guess? Would anyone have guessed what Death Stranding was going to be, or like before that was announced? Like, I just as long as he's just going full Kojima again, and just do something different. I don't want. I haven't played Death Stranding yet, but I don't want another Death Stranding. I want something different.
I don't think anybody wants another Death Stranding. It was good as it in its own thing.
Yeah.
There doesn't need to be more of that.
I want to see just him, just free reign, free control. And do something just batshit crazy. I would like it to be. I want to see his take on horror. After getting, I can't think of it. The Silent Hills PT, and just how perfect that could have been. And I know obviously we're not going to get Silent Hill because Konami are just sitting on that. So I just want to see him. Did we not hear a rumor previously that he was doing a horror game like similar to PT?
That's been the consensus that it's likely to be a horror game, and that makes sense with when you look at what I know you didn't play Death Stranding, but the suspense element is there in Death Stranding, and obviously we saw the PT as well. So it's always, and to be honest, horror was a theme in the Metal Gear Solid series.
Oh yeah.
It's always been there. So you'd imagine it's whatever it is there'll be an announcement, and unless it's an IP that we already know, we probably still won't understand the game for about 6 years. No. So I don't think it really matters. We might just have a name.
Yeah.
And it'll be interesting. I hope it's not another Death Stranding. I don't think it would be. Imagine the reaction if it was Silent Hill and a deal's been done. That would be earth-shatteringly big news, but I don't want to get anyone's hopes up. The dream, obviously, would be like Konami gearing up Metal Gear and letting him do a Metal Gear Solid game would be, for me, that is the pinnacle. I'm a Metal Gear Solid super fan.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine that's going to happen. So it's probably a new IP.
Metal Gear Solid 5 is still the best stealth game ever made. I'm going to throw that out there.
It's incredible. It's an incredible game. It's like
still the benchmark. I haven't played the new Hitman games, but I just feel like that is just, yeah. I mean, the guy he just knows how to put something together. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what comes of this. Hopefully, we don't have to wait too long. And you won't have to wait too long for another episode from Shifty Crab, because we will be back with another news break next Friday. But the next piece of content you can catch from us will be our Sunday Fun Day Challenge coming this Sunday, which what does Vince have in store for us? Who knows?
We don't know. We haven't filmed it yet.
We have no idea.
He doesn't tell us.
You have to wait and see. He just likes to spring on us at the last minute. So we shall see. But until then, this has been the Shifty Crab News Break. I have been Terry. You've been joined by Adam. And we will see you next time. But until then, stay shifty.
Bye.